Hey, Andrew, thank you very much for joining us. We have a very interesting guest today. You are the co-founder of LaMay Property Development. You guys are based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and expanding in Pennsylvania. And you guys focus on high-end luxury renovations, and you do anything from property development and construction operations. So we want to find out more about what you guys are doing, how you got started, what's working in this market. So why don't you start telling us a little bit about yourself and your real estate journey?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, my real estate journey actually um starts before I got into real estate. I cut my teeth professionally in the restaurant industry, managing restaurants, and got a chance to work for a couple of smaller organizations that opened the curtain for me, and I got to build systems and processes for them, which it was a lot of fun, and that really fell in love with customer service and business development through that. And my brother, who's my business partner, he's a very talented carpenter who is trained locally and got his apprenticeship in other places here with builders, and got a chance to cut his teeth doing high-end carpentry. He even worked for um, the owner of the Steelers on a couple of projects and worked in a lot of really nice neighborhoods. And he and I saw an opportunity to pair our skills because the construction industry tends to lack service, despite the fact that we're called the service industry. You often get really talented guys who don't understand business, or you get business owners who don't understand the industry. And we didn't see a lot of other companies really blending both of those to create the ideal customer experience. And so after working for a couple of contractors and doing some work just as a couple of high school students. I mean, my brother and I, our first ever entrepreneurial endeavor was when we were in middle school and we were selling firewood, and I didn't have Facebook, so I used my dad's Facebook to market and sell, and we chopped the firewood and sold it. But we rebuilt part of a garage for a family friend when my brother and I were, I think, 14 and 15, and I was too young to drive. So my dad had to drive us to the job site on the weekends, and we re-roofed that garage by hand. I mean, we didn't have pneumatic nailers. It was just, two young guys in the middle of Pittsburgh, July in the heat, swinging a hammer, laying shingles and rebuilding walls and stuff like that. So we knew that we could work together, and we had kind of figured that dynamic out as much as you can in a family business. And we knew that we had people from the basement remodels that we had done and the other projects that we had done on the side. We knew that people liked the way that we worked and they liked working with us. And we didn't see any businesses who were extending that same level of service and talent in combination. And so instead of working for somebody else, we started our own company, and we've been doing that since fall of 2018, and really focused on how can we create an ideal customer experience with thinking ahead of what the customer might want, using my experience from the restaurants to create a tailored experience that's built around good communication, but that also pairs that with really highly talented individuals. And I think we've created a business that really is, in our industry, almost unheard of, where you're getting high quality humans who also do high quality work.
Amazing. Yeah, that's very cool. Yes, it's reusing what you learn in other industries, specifically, I mean, like in the restaurant, that you are tailoring that experience to make sure they come back and that they enjoy themselves, and tailoring that to real estate. It's great, right? Because people are doing their biggest investment um, with buying a home or an investment property. And so
Yeah.
tailoring that and making sure that they are well heard and it's an enjoyable journey. That's great.
Yeah. It's a process that can really be stressful. I think statistically, renovating your home is more stressful than moving. And that's something that we hope to combat through the way that we interact with our customers and the systems that we have designed. I don't think that needs to be the case, but construction is complicated logistically, but it doesn't have to be as stressful as people make it out to be.
Yes, I know, I agree. I mean, like the first renovation that I did was in a home or in a condo that we had purchased. It was so stressful. Like I was like, no, I want to do it. And, if people do it, I can do it. And it was very painful. Like it costs way more money. Like dealing with contractors is not easy. Like if you're doing it by the first time, creating a budget, like
Yeah.
we passed that, like we doubled that budget, and the time that it required was double. And it was like very stressful. I remember my wife was crying and like I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry we put you through this," but like it was like suffering. But then as soon as we were done and seeing the transformation, and everybody that walked into the place were like, "Wow, you guys did an amazing job." That just, it was like so awesome to feel that I was hooked. I was like, I want to do this again. And then the
Yeah,
next one
it's
was like an
addicting.
investment
I get
property.
the luxury of doing that for people all the time, which is great. Yeah. But your story is something that I think almost everybody has experienced for themselves or knows somebody who's experienced exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, I agree. All right, so let me ask you what niche and what is working for you right now with the current environment.
Yeah, I would say that in this environment where a lot of people are moving, a lot of businesses are moving towards automation. We're seeing a client base that's hungry for personal interaction. And so we are trying to automate what we can without sacrificing the personable, front-facing, human-to-human interaction. And we're seeing a huge, I think we're seeing a really great market response from that. People want to deal with people that they know, like, and trust. And so leaning into that element and really, hiring carpenters and installers who are friendly and vetting our subcontractors well and creating an ecosystem where it feels like you're working for high quality, upstanding human beings is something that I think the marketplace really wants. And so we're trying to figure out how we can balance using software and automation that supports our clients and supports the back end processes and allows us to help them better without um devaluing that human to human interaction that people want, because it really is a handover of trust. I mean, most of what we do you can find on YouTube. There's no rocket science behind what we do. It's logistics management. It's making sure that the schedule runs on time, that you're communicating with your subcontractors, that you're making sure the invoices come out on time, that everything's getting paid and watched carefully. There's nothing that requires, a 200 level IQ to do that, but it does require a lot of trust between the contractor and the client. And so we really leaned into that to create an environment where people can kind of bring that stress level down and understand that everything's going to be okay.
Yes, completely. I mean, like real estate is it's a people's person and a people's industry.
Absolutely.
So it's like depending on who you want to deal with, whoever you have that chemistry, a good connection with, and that they have your best interest at heart, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
that's great. But you are right. I mean, like people now with this technology, they want more personalized um, experience, and you can make that happen with AI and automation.
Yeah.
Like, so that's great. So you guys are automating what, like communications and like lead generation? What are you guys?
Yeah, so
auto-
we're still, I think, in the very early stages of dealing with automation. Right now we're exploring automating our bidding process so that we don't have to have someone physically at a computer entering every single detail. And that's not rolled out yet, but it's something that we're exploring and doing. We're trying to automate back end pieces that take a lot of human hours so that the humans that work here can actually spend time working with people more and typing into a computer less. And so anything that allows us to spend more time in front of our clients in person is something that we view as worth investing in. So anything that frees up humans to be humans and not like monkeys sitting at a computer, is really something that we feel like is worth our time.
Completely agree. I mean, that's why I'm in love and I'm passionate about AI, because it actually frees up your time to automate tasks that you don't like in your business, and you can actually focus on
Yeah,
the value add tasks that you enjoy.
absolutely.
It's, so that's why, like, really AI, that's the promise of AI, right? Like giving you the freedom and the time to focus on what you enjoy and where you can actually add the most value.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited for this new phase of technological advancement because we do work with our hands, because we do work with people. I feel like we have a lot of job security. And the work that my carpenters do on site and the trim that they create and install, I think is something that is really, really valuable. And I think we're going to see the marketplace kind of separate into two categories where you're going to have really highly automated businesses where you call and you don't speak to a person, you speak to an AI agent, and you end up basically through the process have a very efficient, very automated process. And you're going to have another side of the market, which is going to be very, very personal, very high touch, very concierge in a way. And we're already sitting in that latter position. And so I'm very excited for what AI is going to allow us to do and how many more people it's going to allow us to serve. But I'm very bullish on our ability to do that and still give people that human to human interaction I think people are craving. So I'm excited because I think we're in a position of the economy that is still going to be able to serve people. And I think that this new technology that's coming out as it changes over time is just going to be able to allow us to help people more and help more people.
That's beautiful. Completely, yeah, I completely agree with you. And that um, you just have to have a vision of what you want the business to be and like how you want to run it, right? Like if you want to be like 1, 2 people person and run it, then you can automate pretty much everything. But if you want to customize it to be like what you were saying, a like a luxury or a concierge type of business, then you can automate the back office, but then you have that human interaction that makes it feel way more um, luxury and concierge like, which I think is like what you guys are focusing on, which I would do that too. Very cool. So for your business currently, what are your biggest pain points and what are the roadblocks that are keeping you from growing to where you want to be at?
I think my answer probably isn't that surprising. Our biggest challenge is finding high quality individuals to work for us, especially on the install side. Um, there I think there's a lot of work that we need to do as employers and also that the industry needs to do in general. There's a lot of education that needs to happen for the younger generations because I think several generations of Americans especially were told that college was the path. And we're really seeing an issue with replacement where I believe the stat is for every five technicians that retire, only two, young people are coming out of school to replace them. And that, that gap is bad enough itself. The other problem is those five people who retire, they're taking 25, 35 years of experience with them. And these new guys that are coming in, they're too young to have that experience. They're not even 25 yet. So we're really seeing a challenge with we're receiving more requests than we can fulfill, and we're investing locally in trade schools to try and get the word out. But there's a lot of work to be done in our industry, and I don't think honestly enough people yet to do that work and fulfill it. So our biggest challenge with growth is having enough high quality humans in the building to get the work done who are interested in making carpentry and construction their career path.
That's so cool. Yeah. I mean, that's a cool project, a cool problem to work on, because you can use AI to help automate that or not automate, but like to help create like an education system, like for you internally, right? If you have already the experts, you can just create education and systems out of their knowledge and
Yeah.
like educate the new population. And then also even create like a marketing campaign, like educating people of like these are like the new best places to work on. Because I mean, like I can tell you what from what I see in construction, they really enjoy and take pride of what they do with their hands, like carpentry,
Mm-hmm.
stonemasons, everything. They love to actually see a product. And yeah, you're right. I think the system right now is like you go to college and then you get a job in a corporate world and you're like sitting in a desk doing a lot of administrative stuff. In the construction is way more like people to people. So like there's a lot more it's a lot more rewarding. But like in the past, those are trades that don't pay a lot, and so people were just opting to go through to college. But now that's actually a trade that can pay way more than actually
Yeah.
having a career,
There's a
and
lot of
more.
money to be made as a carpenter or a construction worker. And I think one of the blessings that our team has is as AI rolls out, my guys are not doing administrative work by and large. So they have a lot of job security because they physically drive to a location and they fulfill work for a client and they interact with that person every single day. Whereas if you're getting, like you mentioned, an administrative job out of college, I would be worried about how long that job is still going to be available because AI can already do a lot of that work. But AI is a long ways away from being able to swing a hammer or work a router like my guys can, and so I think there's a lot of opportunity for young people who want to get a little dirty and get a little sweaty and make some money.
Yeah, no, especially because you can run a business, you can automate all the back office and do what you like. If you like carpentry, even have your own business, automate all the back end, and you can focus on what you like and having that human interaction, which is
Hmm.
great. I mean, like, yeah, like I'm creating business, like a business that does that, right? Like automating everything, and I do what I like, which is connecting with people and learning from them, and just not being behind a desk all day. All day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool. Um, so what is next for you guys?
Boy. I feel like there's so much opportunity. It's hard to say exactly um what'll be next. I mean, our kind of mid to long term goal is that the business that we're running right now, the luxury renovation side, that gets to a point where it's kind of operating on its own, and I have someone over that business center. And our 5 to 10 year goal would be to start opening another vertical or look at opening in other markets and look at that kind of territorial expansion. Right now, for the next year or so, I'm going to be focused on building out our leadership team and really refining our hiring process and investing more in training and expanding our team here in Pittsburgh. We've seen a really good response over the last 7.5 years to the business model that we have. And so now we're working on going from a business that was started by two brothers and becoming an actual organization that is able to serve more people without sacrificing the brand recognition that we've built over the years. People like the fact that we have a very personable, family friendly, hospitality focused business model. And so we're building out systems so we can bring other people in and train them in how we do things and begin serving more people as our team size grows. So right now I'm very focused on going from working, a job that I owned, and we're actually running and scaling a business that has the proper systems to plug in talented people and begin developing that talent internally.
Very cool. Yeah, I love to see that how, the business starts transforming, that you're doing pretty much everything and now you have like systems in place that you can actually step up and be more strategic and then
Yeah.
putting the right person in place for you to expand, but having more like the strategy focus, which is amazing. Um all right. So are you guys finding money like like funding easily to go for your
So
projects?
we have actually never taken a loan throughout our 7.5, almost 8 years in business. We have run our business entirely on cash, which really, really helped us during COVID. There was a lot of other contractors that threw in the towel for any number of reasons, and we've seen other companies in our industry, even outside of COVID, get in trouble with debt. I think biggest challenge in general for construction is cash flow because you have large expenditures and often your payments can be delayed. So we have not taken any outside investment up to this point. I wouldn't turn it down. But I think our business model and our focus is very unique. And so we've had investors reach out to us in the past, but nobody that's understood our vision to the level that I want to bring them in. So I guess the short answer is I won't say no, but I want to bring in partners who actually understand our mission and are willing to buy into that because we've seen the market really accept and be excited about what we do and the way that we're doing it. So we don't carry any debt right now. I don't have any outside investment inside our company at the moment. But if the right partner came along, I think we'd be open to considering that.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, absolutely. You got to choose your partners. Hopefully, I mean, like, if they're going to be equity partners, they have to be value add partners, right? And
Sure. Yeah.
that actually help accomplish what you want. And not just like be like somebody that's demanding stuff that you don't want to be dealing with.
Yeah.
But I mean, but there is investors that are like that are LPs, right? Which is like that you just take their money and you just give them a return, or like lenders, right? You just like tell them, okay, I'm going to pay you 8% a year, 10%, 12%, and then but like all the decisions are on me, right? Like you just pay them an interest. But it looks like you haven't had a need for that yet.
No, we haven't had a need for that. And I think the biggest challenge around investing has been our philosophy around business. We really think that we are at the forefront of what the market is asking for and what the clients are asking for. And so this is not a business that my brother and I started with the intention of selling. We actually started it with the intention of creating a brand that can lead the industry in this level of change. I mean, we really think that there's a lot of opportunity for people who want to work in construction. We also think there's a lot of opportunity for businesses to treat their teams and their customers a lot better. Than I think the construction industry can have a bad reputation. And the way that we've built our business and the way that we serve our clients really shows that bad reputation is something that could be a thing of the past. And so we really are building a brand that we hope is still going to be around in 100 years. And so any sort of investment would need to be willing to buy in with us for the long term and understand our vision and our values. So we're not looking to take on debt. We have been very blessed to cash flow our own projects, and we're in it for the long haul. We're not in it to be bought out by private equity.
Mm.
And just kind of like have them flip the business like we see a lot of other businesses in our industry. And business owners who do that, that's their prerogative. That's just not what we're in it for.
Yeah, you want like a Berkshire Hathaway investor, like a Warren Buffett that actually believes in your business and sees a lot of potential, and they actually come in and actually add value, right? Help
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
grow and be more
Yeah.
efficient, and like it gives you access to so many other um, things that you don't really have access to be able to grow and have
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
impact.
Uncle Warren has not called me yet. But if he did, I would pick up the phone and I would listen. Yeah, but um, we haven't had anybody reach out with that kind of strategy in mind. But obviously, we're still a young company and we're still growing, so there's still plenty of time for those conversations.
I love your vision and your plans, and yeah, I think you guys can make a huge impact. And so I would love to see you guys grow, because the bigger you grow, the more impact that you'll have.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's our thoughts exactly. Our hope is to grow and impact as many people as possible. I think there's a lot of clients that are hungry to work with um, reputable contractors that run well-run businesses, and I think we owe it to our clients to not only serve them well through the products and services that we install and the way that we go about our craftsmanship, but we also owe it to our clients to run a business that's reliable, that'll be around. I get calls regularly from clients who they had a contractor who did a project for them before, and that guy has completely disappeared off the face of the earth. He's no longer returning their calls. And I think that reliability is something that clients really, really appreciate. And when that's paired with really, really talented labor, it becomes something where a lot of our clients, I feel like they become fans and they become part of the family. They're not just people that, write us checks. They're actually people that we get along with, that I talk to outside of work, that, we follow up with and check in on. And I think that there's a lot of, I think we owe it to our clients to do that, especially when we're working on their homes, when we're working around their pets and their kids and their families.
Very cool. Very interesting. Andrew, any advice to any entrepreneurs that want to get to your level?
Oh, well, I feel like it's very strange for me to be fielding a question like that, because at my age and expertise, I feel like I'm only just starting. But I will say, having run our own business for 7.5 years, anybody who's looking to get into this should start their business, and no matter what industry they're in, thinking about their client and what their client wants. I truly believe that if you create a product or a service that scratches that itch for the client and really is something that they desire, and you really create a business model around serving people, I think that that's more important than anything else. I think that if you build a business around serving people and taking care of people, you won't have to worry about the other pieces as much. I mean, Zig Ziglar talks about, if you serve enough people, the money will follow. It'll take care of itself. And I think that that's 100% true. You want to have a business model, and whether it's a product or a service, that really takes care of your clients. And if you focus on taking care of your clients first and foremost, then the other pieces of business will take care of themselves, because you'll be able to sustain that reputation. I mean, the idea of treating other people how they deserve to be treated, and treating other people the way that you would want to be treated, that idea is um it's so simple, but it's so foreign, and so many companies end up sacrificing their ability to serve their clients well on the altar of profit. And I just don't think that, I mean, obviously profit is important. We wouldn't be here 8 years later if we weren't making a profit. But if profit's the only thing you worry about, then you're going to sacrifice, the people that work for you, and you're going to, not take care of your clients. And I really think that that moral element is important. And I think that having a strong, consistent North Star for your company, having a solid mission statement that's designed around the people that you're going to serve, and core values that help you tailor and curate the people that you're going to hire and the way that you're going to do business, is going to serve you better than any investor you bring in, or any loan that you get, or anything like that. So I would say your mission, vision, and values, and your ability to serve clients always needs to be at the front of anything that your business does.
Beautiful advice. Thank you, Andrew. This has been so insightful, but I'm not going to let you off the hook. If you can think of a theme song for you or your business, what do you think that would be?
Boy. uh, um, a theme song for our business. So this is not an official song, but there's an epic mashup on YouTube that combines Staying Alive from the Bee Gees with AC/DC's Back in Black. And I think that would probably be my walkout song for whatever I do. So I'm gonna go with that, because I don't think that our business has an official theme song. Maybe we need to add that into our branding, but that would be my walkout song if we had something for our company, for sure.
I love it. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much for your business. I mean, for your time and your insights, and wish you all the best in your business.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, David. I appreciate it.
Thank you.